Hello YouTube, this is Terrell. Today is May 28th, 2011. This is the ELE survival video that's a complement to the ELE 926 warning video that you should see first before continuing. In the first video we learned that we have a dwarf star-like object that's approaching our inner solar system. It's been affecting our planet since 1965 gravitationally and magnetically since 2004. Now, before we get into this, I want to show you what came out. This fellow right here is throwing rocks at this paper. Now this hyperresonator paper is unrelated to what we're doing, except for the fact that it includes this element object that it does not identify as a dwarf star. It identifies it because of the pattern of alignments and seismicity. Okay, which is exactly what we're saying. Now what this fellow right here is not going to tell you is that on 3/11 with the Japan quake that the Earth axis shifted 4 inches, that the Earth aquifer shifted, and that the same thing happened last year on February the 27th 2010 when the Earth axis shifted 3 inches and the aquifer shifted also. There's a lot more going on here than just gravity, as if debunking this paper means everything's okay. This is the kind of disinformation right here that's trying to put you back to sleep. We show you here through my research multiple symptoms, lots of symptoms. There's more than 100 symptoms and we give 25 here in this video. And this guy here is only addressing one thing. Very one-dimensional rebuttal that is trying to put people back to sleep. And my friend Marcia put out this video that NASA is hiding the approaching doomsday space event. Now this spooked me when I saw it. This right here, NASA hiding approaching doomsday event. Russia too has voiced concern, and now the eminent astrophysicist Alexei Dmitriev claims what is happening is much worse than what NASA and the ESA have admitted. So our inner solar system now has a photon problem. World defenseless against unknown alien cloud. Terrified scientists at NASA discovered on July 14, 2010 that our system is passing through an interstellar energy cloud. This highly energized electrified cloud of gas is distributing and disrupting the sun. In conjunction with Earth's weakening and moving magnetic shield, the world is becoming defenseless against massive solar flares and intense radiation. NASA, the ESA, and the National Academy of Science have issued an unprecedented solar storm warning for 2012 disinformation. This is coming 2011. But what NASA and the federal government are hiding, according to Dmitriev, is that the sun and everything in our solar system has plunged into an alien, unknown photon cloud, a belt of danger that could precipitate gigantic solar explosions, magnetic anomalies, careening cometary masses, and destabilize the orbits of some asteroids. Now we know something that creates photons, and it's the approaching dwarf star. Now this dwarf star is connected to our sun through the magnetic portals that you learned about in the other video. Now this thing is getting nearer to the sun every day, and those magnetic portals are shrinking and growing in diameter, allowing that star to siphon off more magnetism off of our sun. Now our Earth is also connected to the sun through those magnetic portals, and since 2004 has been connected to this other star. Now that other star is pumping us full of magnetism too, but we're stuck in this 1.8 AU parallel orbit, and so it's not getting any closer to us. That's why we're in this lull period. Okay, now the problem is that this lull period is going to be over, and around August the 1st this thing is going to be getting close to us faster and faster and faster and faster. What's going to happen is the Earth magma that's under the calderas is going to start getting really hot really fast, and they're going to just start bulging until they reach a point where something's going to break. into a situation like this. Now, the last time this caldera broke, it killed animals around the world. So you think you're safe here? You think you're safe, but the pyroclastic cloud that's going to come out of this thing is full of glass. When you breathe one breath of it, that recrystallizes in your lungs and you're dead. There is no cure. Okay? These are the general guidelines for your safety. This is from the other post, by the way, that this one is an addendum to. You're moving 250 miles from the coast. That number is up depending on the area. You're moving 650 feet above sea level. You're moving away from volcanoes, supervolcanoes like Yellowstone. You're moving away from seismic zones, avalanche areas, fault zones. Dams, 1,400 dams ready to break. Even if you fill these criteria here and you're below a dam, you're not safe. Okay, the New Madrid is going to blow. The New Madrid is going to become active. And whenever it does, then we're going to have a situation that's like this. This entire area is going to suffer from liquefaction. Whenever this starts shaking, okay, what happens is this area along here where there's another fault that's locked together real tight right now, it begins to loosen up, and then this area becomes active. Okay, and that creates the next problem. The threat assessment report for the eastern seaboard Appalachian region of the United States has changed from safe to unsafe. The fault line running up the eastern seaboard of the USA is currently locked into safe position, but that will change once the New Madrid fault zone erupts into activity with the ELE seismic events coming this summer. It's the nuclear power plants. That's the problem. So that air, that's all that population that is downwind of all that air, it's going to put everyone in danger there. And so the overarching survival strategy that we've created with two groups on either side looks like it's not going to pay off. So what I'm doing is I'm doing threat assessment for groups here and groups here. Okay, now I'm looking at when all of this is over, and I'm wondering how much stronger we could be if we took these people out of this threatened area that now has an unsafe designation here. It's unsafe. And if we move them over to here with the Ozark group, that way, when our next threat comes up, right here, Blackwater type mercenaries. Okay, Cheney, Rumsfeld, this is their life dream here, baby. They've got a global group of troops that they plan to use on us to put us in their FEMA death camps. This is post-ELE. That's what they're planning to do. Now, the way that we deter them is to be one fortified, gigantic force. And that giant force needs to be forming in the safest area in the United States. And that safest area is the Ozarks, for sure. So there's links in here to the secret meeting of 2008. Lots of links that you need to go through to familiarize yourself with post-ELE threats. This is what's coming. So they're surviving ELE first, but then they're surviving these guys afterwards. If we're broken up into small groups all over the United States, that's what they want. Make their job easy. If we're together as a fortified group, it's going to deter them. We're going to be able to demoralize them when they try to come after us. Okay? We're fighting for our families. These people are fighting for money. These people already set up martial law communication hubs in March. Those things are in place. They're ready. And we need to be more ready. Now what we've done, our Ozark group have come up with a plan. We've designated two areas, Huckleberry Ridge Conservation Area, Flag Spring Conservation Area. Huckleberry Ridge designation Alpha. We've come up with a plan. You are to have a Cobra-like radio, CB. On channel number 5, this is how you meet with us, on channel 5 only. Okay, we've come up with this plan. You are a Delta group. Your Delta number is the number of people in your group. You have 3 people in your group, you're a Delta 3. You're contacting Alpha, and the L number here is your location. So you're at this location here. You're at Alpha 1. So over the radio, you're saying Delta 3 to Alpha 1 over. Now you've already tripped our sensors. We know you're there. We're waiting for you to give us the right numbers here. And we're going to redirect you to say 4. And we're going to meet you along the way. We're going to try to identify threats that are watching you. And if this coast is clear, we're going to meet you. If not, you're going to get here. And then you're going to go through this procedure again, except for you're going to be calling Delta 4. Okay? Flag Spring. Designation Bravo. Same deal. CB channel. You got 5 people in your group. And let's say you're at campsite 3. Okay? Then you're going to say Delta 5 to Bravo 3 over. That's all you need to say. And we're already watching you when you come in. And so we're going to go through the same procedures to bring you in. Additional information I'm getting requests all over the world from people wanting to know about safe zones. There is no safe zone in the United Kingdom. I used to live in London, and I know the topography there in the country pretty well. Possibly you could go to Scotland, and there's high areas there, but whenever this event is over and you came out of your cavern to take a look around, you'd be 500 miles from land. There is no safe zone there. I'm sending all these people to the Pyrenees Mountains. There's a 250-mile range there on the Spain side. You need to find yourself a cavern. You need to put yourself together a group, elite group like we have, and you need to do some recon, and you need to make plans to survive. The people of the United States cannot pull you up by the bootstraps and get you guys active over there. You have to do that for yourself. Okay, this is my old 2009 survival topic with a long list of things that you need to get. This is a video that's in this that shows you what happens when you try to hole up in your house and survive this. That's just not going to happen. Okay, this group came from the Ozark Survival Group leadership. This is what they want you to have. You're going to be put into a Delta group or a Bravo group or the Alpha group, depending on how well the provisions. Okay, you come without very much provisions, you're going to be in the Delta group. Okay, the Delta group is going to be more vulnerable. The Alpha group is the elite, and that's just the way it's going to be. We hope everybody could make it into the Alpha group, but that's just, the facts of life. That's the way it is. So the rest of this topic here, this is a New York State Threat Assessment Report. Somebody wrote from New York, they wanted information. Okay, so I know that you've read this post. This is the additional information for that region. Okay, we move on down. This is Southern Hemisphere. Southern Hemisphere is going to suffer terribly, terribly from what's coming. Because during the pole shift, the Northern Hemisphere tips backwards away from the sun to see darkness, but the Southern Hemisphere, not going to be pretty. This is one from Cyprus. Okay, so when somebody writes me, I'm putting that information here because I'm running shorter and shorter on time. I'm just not able to answer everybody. So this topic here is about your survival. So you're waking people up with the first video, and you're showing them how to survive with this second video, so that if the grid goes down, which can happen as soon as we get an EMP, then you can take those 2 videos, you can take this information right here and join up with our group. Now for us, our strategy is to get as many people to the Ozarks as possible. So we're doing recon there. We are finding places for you to go. So if you'll follow these directions and get there, this is the safest place in the United States by far. Then we will help you mobilize at the end. Whenever this is all over, we're going to mobilize together, and we're going to meet the new threats. Because after ELE is gone, then we're going to have to do reassessment of these threats in order to meet them. And the best way to do that is standing in a large group to deter the enemy. And that's the big plan. God bless all of you.